The filter-free diary. Uh,
Good evening. It's a little after 5 in the evening, and I thought we could take a moment to re examine some of the really cool patterns happening in the English language. And before we get into the words, I thought I would just point out the really cool pattern happening in all the vowels. Have you ever looked at the pattern happening in all the vowels? So I'll just explain it. So obviously the letter A is the very first one. And the cool thing about that is that the number 1 is complete in number 1. I know that's a hard thing to understand, but if you're number 1, then as soon as you exist, you're done. Right? Because you did it, you existed. Ta-da! Existence. And then E, being the number 5, is actually the growth pattern of number 2. And we kind of already know this because when the body grows, it goes through the 4 stages, right? The egg, the larva, the pupa, and the adult. Well, that would be number 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 5 is the evolution of number 2. And that's how you get the letter E. Because 5 is an evolution. And without being super complicated about it, I will tell you that 9, which is the letter I, is also an evolution. It's an evolution of the number 3. Because the number 3 wants to travel 7 spaces. And when 3 travels 7 spaces, it goes 3, 4, 5, 6, middle, 7, 8, 9. So, yeah, 9 is the letter I. And that happens with all the vowels in the English language. How cool is that, right? Because the next one is O, and that happens at 15. And 15 is that evolution 4, 4. And then you got U, what happens at 21, and that's the evolution 4, 5. And then you got Y, which some people don't think it's a vowel, but it's a super special vowel. It's the only vowel that has its own unique consonant sound, a Y in English, as opposed to a E sound usually. Anyways, and that's because it's a perfect square. It's number 25, and that is the evolution of 6. And I'm not sure if you followed all that or not, but the pattern follows all the way up through the numbers. So if you can follow that pattern, you can realize that the evolution of number 12 hits at a 49. All the numbers have an evolution, and then all the evolutions have an evolution, and all of it just keeps growing and going, and it's awesome. And the reason why this matters is because you can very clearly see it in the English language. And in fact, if we look at the word ACE again, ACE, 135, there's another word with a very similar coding to 135. Do you know what it is? Have you figured that one out? The alphabet only goes up to 26, so that's your limit for doing, cheating tricks. But the letter M is the number 13, right? So that kind of covers the A and the C, right? And then you got the letter E. So me has like the same kind of coding as the word ace. Did you know that? That's pretty cool, right? So if you think about it, when you go to McDonald's and you order yourself a Big Mac, what you're really ordering is a big 1313. What does that mean? I don't know, but I'm not sure I'd be eating a 1313. Pretty cool, huh? And here's another cool one. What about the word eye? Like an eyeball, like an eye in your face. That's a cool one because that eye actually sounds like an identity, and the word I is mapped out right across the face. Can you see it? It's E Y E. Can you see the word I right across my face? How cool is that, right? And don't get me wrong, I definitely reflected the E across my nose. In the real word I, the E goes the right way, but can you see it though? It's pretty cool, right? And the word you, like a sheep, is EWE. But if you just remove the first E from the word you, EWE, you get we. So instead of you, it's we. So now you're not separated from the group. Now you're part of the group. Come on. English is awesome, isn't it? I could play word games all day long. At least in English. uh, anyways, I'll give you a break before I explode your brain. I just really needed you to understand the evolution that is the English language. Okay, have a good one.